Yeah, hello, I'm Christoph. I'm the race director of Red Bull X-Alps, and I'm standing here in the middle of Salzburg at the Mozartplatz, and that's the place where the athletes will start the race. They will be running here under the fortress of Salzburg through the old city of Salzburg, heading up to Gaisberg, which is the first turnpoint of the race.
Hello, also from my side, my name is Jürgen Wietrzyk. I'm Safety Director of Red Bull X-Alps, and I want to invite you to join us on our road trip through the Alps to see the turnpoints and the route of Red Bull X-Alps 2019.
Here we are at the Gaisberg. It's the first turnpoint of Red Bull X-Alps. The athletes will come from Salzburg, from the Mozartplatz, on a defined hiking path up here to the first signboard, which they need to sign.
And depending on weather and wind conditions, we will define the takeoff place. And it's going to be very exciting to watch who of the athletes is launching first on his way to the next turnpoint, Wagrain Klein Adel. We are here in Wagrain Klein Adel, turnpoint for the first time in Red Bull X-Alps. We are standing here in front of the Wasserwelt Amadee, and the signboard will be located right here.
Yeah, and the athletes will know this area quite well because they spent one preparation week here, and also the prologue, a little race in front of the main race, will take place here, and it will lead from right here up to the Griesenkaereck as first prologue turnpoint, then to the Grafenberg, and then Hochgründeck, and the finish of the prologue will be here.
And the preparation week will be very important for our athletes to get all the checks done, like equipment check, medical check, safety briefing, route briefing, technical briefing, to be best prepared for the race.
Here we are in Germany, in Aschau am Chiemsee. Aschau is a turnpoint in the Red Bull X-Alps race for the third time. We are here under the Kampenwand, and the athletes will come from Wagrain Klein Adel, and they come in here, they can land here, and they have to sign a signboard which is situated right here.
To get to the next turnpoint then, to Kronplatz, they have to cross the main part of the Eastern Alps for the first time. And this means that they have to, if it's not flyable, to climb up to about maybe 3,000 meters. And especially in this year, we have very much snow in the mountains. And so it's gonna be quite a big challenge, and it's gonna be exciting to watch athletes, how they deal with these conditions. Kronplatz, first turnpoint in Italy. This is the turnpoint where the Saleva Trophy will be handed over to the first athlete to reach this turnpoint, either flywise or hiking up 1,500 meters of vertical distance from the valley below.
And we will have a signboard right here in between the Messner Mountain Museum and the Lumen Mountain Photography Museum. The athletes from here will need to cross the main ridge of the Alps for the second time, heading towards the next turnpoint, Lermoos at the Tiroler Zugspitzarena. Here you see Lermoos in the Tiroler Zugspitzarena. The athletes will come here bypassing the Zugspitze. So they come from Germany and pass the Zugspitze on its north side to sign a signboard, which will be situated right here.
Yeah, and before they pass the Zugspitze on its northern side, they will have to pass the forbidden airspace of the Innsbruck airport. And to get there, they either will cross the Zillertaler Alpen again, or they do it by climbing the Ötztaler Alpen, which are far more on the western side.
Here we are in Davos, the first turnpoint in Switzerland, and we will have a signboard here, and it will be the highest signboard in the valley. It's 1,560 meters of altitude, and it's still quite cold here, but in summer it will be a perfect place to watch the athletes come in and to meet them here at the beach of the lake. I think the athletes will come from there, from the north side.
Yeah, probably they come in from the north side. Before they do so, they have to cross the Silvretta Mountains to cross the borderline between Austria and Switzerland. Either flying or when the weather is not good enough, they have to cross it hiking. And those mountains are really high. They are about 3,000 and a bit more meters high. So it will be quite exciting to watch the athletes via live tracking which route they will choose.
Here we are at the Titlis Turnpoint. It will be the highest signboard in the race, and the athletes will come from Davos, from somewhere there. And if they can fly in, it will be just a short stop and signing and go on. But if they need to hike up here, I think there's some special thing about the hiking.
Yeah, Titlis Turnpoint is the most tricky one because we are up here on 3,020 meters, up here on the glacier. And there are very many crevasses up here, and this forces us to define the route. Athletes have to climb up if it's not flyable, and to climb down again, because it's also not possible to use the south side for a descent, because the south side is a 600 meters tall wall, super for climbers, but not for X-Alps. And yeah, so they have to climb down again on the north side.
Yeah, and from here they go on to the Eiger, and the Eiger they just have to come very close to the north face there. There's a cylinder. And what about this turnpoint?
Yeah, it's a very nice turnpoint for Eiger North Face is famous all over the world. And the cylinder, yeah, as you said, forces athletes to come very close to this North Face. And I'm looking forward to the spectacular pictures we will get from there then.
Here we are in the middle of Chamonix, just under the Mont Blanc, and the athletes will have to pass this Mont Blanc turnpoint on the north side, and they have to be very careful with some airspace restrictions there if they come flywise. But if the weather will be flyable or not, we will see.
Athletes have to deal with weather situations like we have it at the moment all the time. Snowstorms up in the mountains on the north side, maybe better weather on the south side.
Here we go from Chamonix to Saint-Hilaire, the next turnpoint, which will bring us out of the higher Alps to the western end of the Alps. The athletes will find the signboard right here on this famous takeoff.
Yeah, at the very western end, that means that we are really low here. Altitude is only 900 meters, and athletes have to go back to the higher mountains then. And this could be really hard to fly to the next turn point. So that could mean that we see a lot of hiking here.
Here we are on the Italian side of Monte Viso. You see this impressive mountain there, and it's the first time we have this mountain as a turn point in the X-Alps race. And the exciting thing about it is that the athletes are coming from Saint-Hilaire, which is nearly outside of the Alps, quite low. And here they have to climb back into the high Alps. Monte Viso is nearly 4,000 meters high, and the cylinder the athletes have to enter forces them to come really close to the summit.
Yeah, close to the summit means that they have to climb a mountain pass, and this mountain pass is 2,700 meters high. When they have to hike, because they cannot fly, they have to hike because weather is not good enough to fly, and bad weather, maybe misty weather, maybe stormy weather, combined with the altitude, means low temperatures, those are the aspects which make this turn point to one of the hardest turn points of this race.
Now from Monte Viso, we leave Italy again into France to come to the next turn point, Cheval Blanc, which is more than 2,200 meters high, and the athletes have to pass it on the west side. There's no signboards, so they just can fly by if the conditions are nice for flying, and it could be a really fast part for flying. Here we are, final turn point, Bay. Yeah, it's 1,133 kilometers to reach this place from the start. And I think everybody who arrives here will be super happy to sign the signboard up here and take the glider for the last final glide down to the beach, to the finish.
Yeah, and I hope for our athletes that they can make it up to here flying. Because when you look in the land behind us, there are very many hills, many gorges. It's a very rocky area with no landing areas and no starting areas. And so, yeah, hopefully they can get here flying.
We are finally in Monaco. The athletes will fly down from up there, from Bay to the sea.
And for us, it's also been a long journey. And now you know a bit more about the route. You've seen the turn points and you've seen the finish here in Monaco. And we are looking forward now to an exciting race, and join us on live tracking of Red Bull X-Alps.